Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Out of Spec podcast. My name is Francie, and today we do have an electric episode for you that's all about taxes. Well, really, the tax credit, which is a bit better. This incentive to sell electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid EVs has existed for many, many years, but it has changed over the years as well. And in 2024, I thought it would be useful to go over every electric vehicle that qualifies for either half or the full EV tax credit right now in July of 2024. So let's plug in so that you can figure out what might be the right EV for you and if you can take advantage of this tax credit. Let's go. This episode is made possible by the support we get from Fort Collins Kia. If you are in the market for any electric Kia, not only do they never add market adjustments, they will deliver your car to you anywhere in the 48 contiguous states for out-of-spec viewers. More information in the link in the show notes. So like I said, some things have changed in 2024 in terms of what are the qualifications, what are the requirements to get access to the full EV tax credit. So the first one is that the final assembly of the electric vehicle or plug-in hybrid, the vehicle, must be in the US, Canada, or Mexico, nowhere else. The second requirement is that 50% of the battery components must be assembled or manufactured in the United States or countries where the US has a trade agreement. You'll often see the term foreign entity of concern. The US has identified certain countries or entities to be these foreign entities of concern, and if the batteries or the components are coming from there, there's a little bit of an issue. So those are, if you have both of those, then you can get the full access to the $7,500 federal EV tax credit. It has been restructured to provide direct incentives at the point of sale in 2024, commonly referred to as cash on the hood. Before, it would come back to you after you filed for your taxes at the end of the year, and you would also have to owe more than $7,500 on your taxes. But now that doesn't matter. This change aims to simplify the process for consumers and make the benefits more immediate. The incentive is applied, like I said, at the point of sale, so it might just reduce the purchase price immediately rather than as that tax return benefit at the end of the year. The dealership does have to submit a time of sale report to the IRS when you buy an EV, so make sure to ask for that if you buy one. You also have some income requirements and an MSRP requirement. So the car must be at or below $55,000 for cars, $80,000 for SUVs, trucks, and vans. The income of the buyer is subject to the limits between $150,000 and $300,000, depending on the tax filing status. This is all very accessible on the IRS websites. For leasing, there is a little bit of a loophole, and this lets the entity that finances your EV lease to take the full $7,500 EV tax credit, no matter where the EV is made, no matter where the battery comes from. But the dealership decides really if that comes back to you or not in terms of a benefit on going towards your payments. So make sure to ask the dealer, check out their website to see if it's listed as a special option. Okay, so like I said, you can go onto the website for the IRS and access all of this, and it's a really helpful site. So I would recommend that everyone, if you're curious, go to fueleconomy.gov, just Google federal EV tax credit, and you'll find this page. And then down at the bottom, you select the delivery date, and you can choose basically 2024, and you get a list of all of them. So you can choose all electric, plug-in hybrid, electric vehicle, or just all electric, which is what we're going to talk about today. Feel free to enjoy your plug-in hybrids, but I'm going to focus on the electric vehicles, and I'm going to go through these alphabetically. So hopefully you're down for that. The Acura ZDX qualifies for the full EV tax credit. It has the MSRP limit of $80,000, and the range, EPA estimated range, is about 300 miles. It has horsepower of 340, and the ZDX offers what Lexus would definitely describe as a luxurious electric SUV experience with a sleek design and advanced technology features, but we don't believe that it is the best electric vehicle on the market, although I'm sure that some people would be happy with that. And I said Lexus, I meant Acura. The Cadillac Lyriq, another defined as pretty luxury electric vehicle coming from Cadillac, as they typically are. This does qualify. The Lyriq 2024 qualifies for the full $7,500 tax credit. Of course, it is subject to the MSRP limit of $80,000, and it has a range of 300 EPA estimated, top and horsepower 340. The Lyriq combines Cadillac's known luxury with not the highest end EV technology, but it does have a nice spacious interior. And generally, I think folks are pleased if they're like a Cadillac brand loyalty person, that they'll go with this one and be pretty comfortable as well. Of course, this is under GM. It's a GM brand, and GM is still perfecting their EV technology. The Chevy Blazer EV, this one definitely came out with some issues first. There were some software issues, but as far as we know, those are all resolved. Excited to see more and more great options come onto the market from Chevy. It qualifies for the full EV tax credit, and it is bringing Chevy's popular EV SUV into the electric era with pretty modern styling and a versatile driving experience. For the Bolt EUV, for not only the model year 2022, but also 2023, because this kind of, I don't think they make these anymore. They could discontinue the Bolt and the Bolt EUV, but they say they have plans to bring them back. Both the Bolt EUV and the Bolt EV qualify for the full $7,500 tax credit. And since they're the cars, they have to be under $55,000 for that MSRP. The Equinox EV model year 2024 also qualifies for the full EV tax credit. And since this is a larger vehicle, it has to be under $80,000. Moving into Ford, the Ford F-150 Lightning with the extended range battery as well as the standard range battery, model years 2022, 2023, and 2024 all qualify for the full federal EV tax credit of $7,500, but they need to be specced out under $80,000. Of course, you have to qualify for all of the income and stuff, so don't forget, it has to do with you too. But the powerful towing capability and the pretty good advanced technology features that Ford is putting into their electric vehicles is definitely redefining what a pickup truck can be, especially now electrified. A lot of people really like the work truck vibes of this. It has like rulers built in. It's definitely designed with construction in mind, which is pretty consistent, I think, with Ford really paying attention to their customers and saying, all right, we know what they need. If they're going to use this and they're going to work with it, we're going to give them what they need. You might notice the Mach-E is not on this. Honda Prologue. Prologue 2024 model year qualifies also for the full EV tax credit. It is a larger vehicle, so that does have the MSRP limit of $80,000. And the Prologue, I think, isn't the most exciting electric vehicle ever, although I do think a lot of people are satisfied with it. I'm really excited to see what Honda brings next. This is the Ultium platform with the Honda Prologue 2024. So Ultium is GM. So we're eager to see, okay, Honda, sure, you use the Ultium platform, but what are you going to bring out of Honda? What is going to be the EV architecture that you bring to the market? Because Honda has made some pretty reliable cars over the years. It's got great sales, and it would be interesting to see how they define their own electric vehicle. So this is their brand's entry into the electric SUV market, and hopefully they'll continue to show us what they can do. The Nissan Leaf, of course, the Leaf S and the Leaf SV Plus, both model year 2024, qualify only for half of the EV tax credit for $3,750. Both have to be under that MSRP level of $55,000. The Leaf is a budget-friendly electric vehicle, compact design, practical urban range, and then with the SV Plus, you do have the choice for longer commutes. It's more range, more power, a little bit of a higher MSRP. But generally, this is the great get around town car. It was one of those early adopter EVs. And I think they've stayed consistent with, you can drive this EV all around town. You can love it that way. You can take it on road trips. Don't be super afraid to, but it is a different experience nonetheless. And also, they use CHAdeMO, so that's not definitely not ideal. Definitely not ideal to use the CHAdeMO charging technology. Okay, over to Rivian, the fully electric brand, the startup that is doing quite well. Just recently, Volkswagen Group decided to create a joint venture with Rivian to work on software and electrical architecture for EVs, and VW's throwing overtime about $5 billion. I've heard a lot of people frame this as bailing Rivian out. I honestly do not see it that way. I think Rivian has really incredible hardware, software built up from the ground electric vehicle platform, and Volkswagen sees that. Of course, they're going to benefit from that money and the connections that Volkswagen Group brings, but I don't necessarily see it as a bailout. Let me know what you think. Okay, the R1S dual large battery pack, model year 2023 and 2024, they have to be under $80,000. All of these have to be under $80,000 for anything Rivian, because they're all either a truck or an SUV. But these all only, I'm going to just kind of jump to the conclusion here. Any Rivian from 2023 or 2022 for the R1T quad motor large pack or the R1S quad motor large pack only qualify for half of the EV tax credit. So that $3,750. The Rivian R1S is a pretty good SUV option. You can see it put to the test a lot on the Out of Spec Reviews channel and the Out of Spec Motoring channel. It was one of the 4 EV SUVs that was raced to Vegas and trusted to just use route planning on the way back from Vegas to Fort Collins to see how it decided to take folks home. We had Jordan and Andreas on the podcast a couple weeks ago to tell us how exactly did that route planning go. And it still got some tweaks here and there to iron out, but generally Rivian owners seem to be pretty satisfied. Of course, the truck has those trucking capabilities. We've done a lot of towing tests, off-roading. Rivian is the all-American outdoor brand. I'm sure they want to expand to other markets and can't wait to see these outside of the US as the company grows, because I do think that they make a really cool product and show that, yeah, you can start from the ground up and make some cool EVs as a startup. So basically, any R1S dual large pack, the R1S dual standard, the R1S dual standard plus, the R1S performance dual standard plus, the R1S quad motor large, and then all of that basically the same with the R1T, all through get half of the EV tax credit. I don't think I need to read all of those out to you because that would be a little bit tedious. Going down from Rivian to Tesla. So here we can see that there aren't all the options offered by Tesla available for the EV tax credit, but there are some, and Tesla continuously has very competitive pricing for EVs. So if you don't want a Tesla, if you want to give another automaker a go, sure, go for it. I think what kind of stinks is that if you're really just trying to avoid Tesla for whatever reason, they just have such competitive pricing. And so that makes it kind of hard to turn down some of their deals when they also have pretty good hardware and software. Okay, so the Tesla Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive model year 2024 qualifies for the full EV tax credit. For the Model 3, this is only the MSRP of $55,000 that you're going to be worried about. For the Model X and the Model Y, that is the $80,000 MSRP limit that you're going to see. The Model 3 long-range rear-wheel drive also qualifies. That is new as of just a couple months ago or last month or something for model year 2024, qualifies for the full EV tax credit. The Model 3 Performance, model years 2023 and 2024, full EV tax credit qualified. This performance model gives a pretty fun, exhilarating acceleration handling that comes with the performance aspects, along with, of course, Tesla's signature technology. I didn't really linger on the Model 3, but I will describe it a little bit. The Model 3, especially the long-range all-wheel drive, is known for efficiency, performance. It's a pretty top choice in the electric sedan buyer group. And for the Model 3 long-range rear-wheel drive 2024 model year, this obviously, with the rear-wheel drive option, there's only one motor. They can make it a bit cheaper, and it has long range. So it's definitely a popular option for folks out there. It's a great balance of range and price, and great for long distance driving and someone who's a little bit more sensitive on that pricing. Over to the Model X. This was also on the Race to Vegas trip. This is a potentially three-row SUV fitting 7 people, and it has those Falcon doors. It's the biggest model from Tesla, and yeah, it's a pretty cool one. So only one version, one trim of the Model X qualifies, and it's the Model X all-wheel drive. Model years 2023 and 2024, qualifying for the full EV tax credit. Of course, you got to keep it under $80,000 if you're going to get it. It's spacious, definitely a luxurious electric SUV, but perhaps not the most luxurious now when we're looking at what BMW and Mercedes offer. Of course, Lucid is more of a sedan for sure, but there are more luxurious options out there. But it has the unique features like the Falcon Wing doors and things like that. And of course, the Tesla software and the supercharger network. For the Model Y, we have qualified fully for the tax credit with the all-wheel drive, the long-range rear-wheel drive, the performance, and the rear-wheel drive. $7,500. The full tax credit is going to qualify. The Model Y is the second largest option from Tesla. I exclude the Tesla Cybertruck because I just don't even think of that as this model. It's just so different. Obviously, that's the Cybertruck, which does not qualify for the EV tax credit. But the Model Y combines a good bit of practicality with performance and a good ample space and, of course, a higher driving position. And there can be, of course, the long range, extended ranges options for those who are prioritizing distance over the all-wheel drive capability with the rear-wheel drive long range option. And then the Model Y performance, of course, got that acceleration, top tier handling, and it's a pretty sporty choice with also having the bigger space in the Model Y. Okay, great. Moving on to Volkswagen. This is the last group that we're going to look at, and we're looking at the ID4s. Y'all, I can't wait for the Volkswagen ID Buzz to come to the US market. Someone told me the other day, they were like, I don't even know if it's going to come. Volkswagen, everyone, can we just take a moment to say, please, electric vehicle gods, can we please have the VW ID Buzz here? It's so cute. I was in Europe earlier this year and I saw a few of them, just like 2, driving around somewhere in France, which was amazing to see them in real life because I think they're so cute. That's really what it is. I know that it's basically a brick flying through the air. It's not going to have the biggest efficiency, but it's that lifestyle and the color and the fact that it's a van. I think it's so cool. But anyways, I don't think that's going to qualify for the EV tax credit, but I would love to be proven wrong. Here we have the ID4 options, and all of them qualify for the full $7,500 EV tax credit. So the ID4 all-wheel drive Pro, the Pro S, the Pro S Plus, and then just the ID4 Pro, as well as the ID4 Pro S, ID4 Pro S Plus, and the ID4S, and the ID4 Standard. So basically, all trims from 2023 and 2024 model years qualify for the EV tax credit. It is under that $80,000 MSRP price, but I think you have a good chance of getting this option if you are definitely leasing, but if you're looking to buy an ID4. This has been a popular option in the US. We've had a couple who towed truly across the country from California to one of the Carolinas, maybe North or South Carolina, towing behind a little scampy trailer all the way across. And they told us all about it and how they mapped it out, how they towed, how they tried to make things as efficient as possible. So from the ID4, you could be getting the all-wheel drive capabilities with a pretty decently spacious interior, the modern design from Volkswagen. With the Pro S variant, without the all-wheel drive option, you get that comfort, additional comfort, tech features, hopefully enhancing your driving experience. And then the Pro S Plus is the highest trim level that you'll see from the ID4, and it has those premium materials, advanced technology options, of course. And if you just want to go standard, the ID4 Standard is that entry-level option offering those essential features at a more affordable price point. Now, again, it's important if you're going to lease or buy an EV, do a little bit of research yourself, but this gives you an overview. We have a good few EVs that are qualifying for the full EV tax credit and a good few that are qualifying for half of it, mostly coming from all of Rivian's options and all of Nissan's options, which are the Leafs and the R1Ss and the R1Ts. Everyone else is qualifying for the full EV tax credit, which is cool to see because the requirements did get a bit stricter in 2024. But like I said, we laid those out. So hopefully you understand them more. Whether or not you think we should be doing EV tax credits, I think it's important that we know the qualifications and what is qualifying so we can just all be on the same page. If you found this interesting, let me know. If you found this helpful, let me know. Of course, this is subject to change. This is middle of the year 2024. So check out fueleconomy.gov and check out what the updates might be. Who knows? Different options might come on the market. Also, automakers might change their supply chains and be able to achieve the full EV tax credit, or they might get it halved. But hopefully they wouldn't step back from that if they're making the supply chains in a way where they are bringing more things into the US, because that is a goal. I think the market should become stronger there. So any kind of pressure to say, hey, can we manufacture more parts here? Can we assemble them here? What can we do with that advancing technology in this market? I think that would be cool. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you own any of these and what you think of your EV. And if you got to take advantage of the EV tax credit, was it when it was straight on the hood, you just get it off the MSRP, or did you have to file your taxes and get it? Thanks everyone for tuning in for another episode of the Out of Spec podcast. Hope you found this informative. Have a great rest of your day. And most importantly, drive safely. Stay charged up. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.